Yo guys, today we are doing the Danganronpa 2 morality tier list. I know I said I would go back and fix the Trigger Happy Havoc tier list, but I don't have time for that. I'm on a tight schedule. So I'd say just let's get into this right away. I want a video up for Thursday. And I was given some feedback on the last video. Someone said that they wanted to see more tiers. So I was wondering, what do you guys think about that? You know, should I have more tiers for this list? Obviously I can't do this for this list right now, but maybe for the V3 one, and you know, I can go back and put all of the characters on a tier list with more tiers. And if you guys think there should be more tiers, what do you guys think those tiers should be? So comment down any suggestions you have. And before we can really start, I do want to say one thing. With the Danganronpa 2 characters, you know, we know they have the ultimate despair twist going on with them, and I am not taking that into account. Even in like DR2, it was pretty vague what was going on. A lot of the things sounded so crazy. DR3 obviously confirms what happens. I won't spoil it here, but yeah, I'm not taking into account the despair forms. So I'm just taking into account what we see from the characters in the actual game, in chapters 1 to 6. Nothing with their past. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. We're starting with Akane here. It's interesting, right? Because she does do a lot of damage, but she has no bad intentions. You know, she got Nakamura seriously injured, but she didn't want that to happen. She was just too rash. And it's hard to say, like, I don't think I can put her in a gray area because, actually maybe I can, and you know why? It's because she literally tried to kill Nagito in like chapter 5, and she almost did. Chiaki had to stop her. So you could say she's in this gray area. I'd say like higher to the good than the bad. But yeah, definitely in that gray area because in a sense, you know, she's just like a character like Mondo. She just got so angry that she started doing things that harmed everyone else. So it is interesting. Like, I can see why someone would put her in good. It makes a lot of sense. But she does a lot of things that could have gotten everyone in danger. So I'm actually going to keep her high in the gray tier for now. And next up we have Chiaki, and Chiaki is an overwhelming good. I mean, I really don't know what to say about her that's bad. There was no ill will from her. She wasn't trying to do anything bad, so I think that's self-explanatory. Togami as well, pretty good. I think one of the most friendly characters in the game. Tried to stop the killing. Didn't do a good job of stopping it, but he tried. He tried, man. There was no harm from him. He just wanted to protect everyone, and he just failed his job, but he's a good person at the end of the day. And Hajime, again, kind of like Mikuno, you know, the protagonists, well, so far anyways, haven't really done anything that bad. You know, he gets angry a lot, and then, but yeah, that's not, you know, that doesn't say anything about how good or bad he is, like, morally. He just gets angry. Same thing with Mikuno, but yeah, he's just a good person overall. I can't recall him doing anything that I felt was just like put him in this gray area or like, you know, made him an evil person. I guess you could say the final dead room. He did try to escape, didn't he? Like, he tried to escape from the funhouse. So that is interesting. Could he be leaning here? I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember the circumstances of that too well. Was he trying to get the weapon? Was he trying to kill people after he got the weapon? I don't remember. So actually Hajime is quite a tough one. I'll say this, he's either here or here. But it's tough. I'm going to put him in good for now because I am not very clear about the circumstances of what happened in the funhouse with him wanting to go to the final dead room. So we'll put him in good for now. But next we have Ibuki, and Ibuki's a pretty good person. I don't remember her doing anything wrong. She was mostly there for comic relief purposes. And yeah, she had like no bad moments from what I remember. Next we have Fuyuhiko, and Fuyuhiko, oh boy, this is a tough one. This is just, I'm just placing him here just because, you know, I don't want to keep moving the cursor around. I haven't decided yet, actually. Because in chapter 2, he did want to kill Mahiru. At that moment, he was ready to kill her. And he does get his moments of redemption, obviously, chapter 3 and onwards. He's a redeemed character, but we also have to think that this guy did kill Sato. That was a part of a Twilight Syndrome, and that's a real-life incident. So this guy did kill someone as an eye for an eye kind of thing, because, you know, Sato killed his sister. That's actually tough. You know, this is a tough one, but I'm almost inclined to say bad. I mean, not really, no. I'd say it's great. You know, it makes sense. He was brought up in the Yakuza. I understand his mentality for that. With Mahiru, again, it was kind of an in-the-moment thing. He wasn't, like, planning to kill Mahiru. It wasn't premeditated. I don't know if he's killed anyone outside of Sato, but, yeah. I can't put him in good. Absolutely not. I can see why some people would put him in bad. For now, I'm going to put him in a low gray area. But, yeah, we'll see where he goes. As for Mahiru, I'd say higher than Fuyuhiko for sure. Lower than Akane, because her beliefs are very interesting. Remember, Mahiru did allow Sato to get away with what she did. She knew that Sato killed Fuyuhiko's sister and didn't do anything about it. So 2-2 really had an interesting conflict. I wouldn't say she's as bad as Fuyuhiko, but yeah, there is a gray area towards Mahiru here. She does a lot of good things. She wants the cast to get along. She doesn't want the killings. But in the end, I think her beliefs are what put her in the gray area. And next up we have Mikon. Mikon's interesting because in her free time, in her last free time, she has this moment where she goes like pretty creepy. I remember that moment. I don't remember the context, but it was like what you would see with Despair Mikon. However, in the end, like from what we get in the game, I'd say she's good. I can't really think of anything bad that she did. And again, in chapter 3, when she actually killed like 2 people, wasn't really her. You know, the despair disease was the one that really triggered that. So, yeah, can't say she's bad for that. And next up, we have Nagito. Nagito, I think I have to put in bad. I mean, just all the things he did, man. All the things he did in the Killing Game. And I know he did have his illness. To be honest, I can't remember the circumstances of that completely, but pretty sure his mental illness is what caused him to do some of the things he did. And you know, that is a pretty tough topic to talk about. I guess there is a argument for him being in grade just because of that, but yeah, no, I'm gonna put him in bad, man. I still think just all the things he did is just unforgivable from a moral standpoint. With Nekomaru is, dude, this guy, right below Chiaki right there. He is second for sure. I think a lot of these characters will be in the good tier list. A lot of them are overwhelmingly good, I believe. And with Nakamura, he just beats the rest in good because of what he does. He sacrifices, man. He literally sacrificed himself for Akane. He did come back as a robot, and then, you know, he sacrificed himself in the funhouse. Although I'm not sure if that's a full sacrifice. That's why Nakamura's not going like all the way here. Because he might have done the same thing as Gundam, you know, if he was the one who won the battle. It's hard to say. I think Gundam did say that Nekomaru was planning to live as well and not give himself away. So I don't know, that one's tough, man. It's actually tough. You could argue that Tugami is even over him. Maybe I gave that second place a bit too fast, but he is just overwhelmingly good. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say between like these two. I wouldn't even know what Tugami would do in that funhouse situation. It's hard to say. I don't know, man. 2 or 3. Just leave it at that. And next is Peko. Peko I can put also in that gray area, but I'd say higher than Fuyuhiko. She was like basically raised to be this guy's guard. And you could argue that, you know, everything she does is because of Fuyuhiko. But again, from chapter 2 we learned that that's not the case. She does a lot of things on her own. She killed Mahiru on her own. That was her own will right there. Fuyuhiko did not tell her to kill Mahiru. She just did it. So Fuyuhiko wouldn't be the killer. But again, there is some good in that. You know, she wanted to protect Fuyuhiko. That's the reason why she did it. And at the end of the day, it's because the Yakuza took her in and her surroundings that she is this person who kills people. And apart from that, she's a very good person. So she's definitely in this gray area, I believe. And I'd say overall, yeah, she is better than Fuyuhiko, even though she did kill Mahiru. And next up we have Hiyoko. This is an interesting one. I'd say she definitely goes above the Yakuza members. Does she go above Mahiru? That's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't think so. It's hard to say because she didn't feel that sad about the deaths of like the people that got executed, but it makes sense why, you know? It makes sense why she wouldn't feel sad for like Peko or Hiyoko. I get it. It's like, but then she's just like a mean person overall, like to an extent that it's like, you know, I can't really say she's good. I just can't. And then Mahiru did like, you know, she helped a murderer get away with her crime, or she basically just did not snitch on that person. Is that overall worse? It might be. It's hard to say. Overall, these guys are pretty lower on this grade tier, I'd say. Lower down. Hiyoko might be in the middle of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say she's right here. I think this makes sense. In my head, at least. It's hard to say. But next is Sonia, and Sonia is a good person. Now, the ordering of this is gonna get a bit tough. I'd say Hajime maybe below Mikon. But yeah, Sonia does nothing wrong, I'd say. She does get mad at like Kazuichi, but that's justified. I don't think there's any issues with that. She does like serial killers and all of that, but that's more of a hobby. Like it's not in a bad way. She's just like fascinated by that stuff, and you know, it's not really a big issue. She doesn't actually want people to die, clearly. So yeah, good person. Yeah, nothing bad to say. Kazuichi. Let's evaluate this guy. Most of his like problems come from him being scared. That's not an issue. I'd still put him in good from that. His creeping on Sonia, is that enough to put him in the gray? I wouldn't even say so. I really wouldn't say so. I think it's bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not to the point where I'd say he's like a gray character. Maybe here, maybe. I'd still say he's a good person at heart, really good person, you know. He made a mini Maru, clearly cares about everyone. Yeah, he's a good person at heart, man. I can't really put him in the gray just for that. And then we have Gundam. And this is where Nakamura's placement also becomes interesting, because if Nakamura would have done the same thing as Gundam, you know, I might rate Nakamura lower. That's tough, right? That's a very tough thing. So chapter 4 has some tough morality issues going on. And by the way, with Gundam, I stick to my beliefs that if they did not catch him, he would not have gave himself up. I think he would have went the full way through. I think he would have tried to win the trial. So that is just my belief point on that situation. And if Nakamura did that same thing, you know, would I put him lower down in the list? That's tough to say. That's tough to say. I think I definitely would. Which makes chapter 4 tough. This is tough to answer Gundam's placement on this list. Overall, he's definitely not in this part of the tier list. Not here or here. But you know, if I put Nakamura here, couldn't I put Gundam here as well? Tough to say, but also Nakamura sacrificed himself for Akane, so I think he has to be lower than Nakamura at least. And yeah, I think overall Ibuki's just, I don't know, it's hard to say, but Ibuki does nothing wrong. Sonia does nothing wrong, but some can argue that what Gundam did was just overall good for the group, because even if he did try to get away with it, he gave them a chance to survive. Yeah, it's hard, man. I still think I'm gonna put him in good, and that's a tough choice. Like, I can even see him going down to gray, because at the end of the day, he would have killed everyone else if he won. Maybe here. It's hard to say, man. I feel like Gundam and Sakura kind of the same in terms of their position. I'm very torn between the good and the gray. Gonna put him here for now, but again, very, very tough to say. And last, we have Teru. Oh boy, Teru. Is he in bad? It's hard to say, man. Because he has good things going on for him. The whole situation with him and his mom, it really shows the human side of his character a lot. But then you got his offenses, man. This guy's a predator. This guy's crazy. Like, oh, this guy, the poison scene with Sonia, I guess the free time event with you know, what he's trying to do, the Hajime, bro. Is that enough to get you in bad? It's hard to say. In terms of the killing, you know, they play it off. At first, they played it off as him trying to save. I forgot who he was trying to save. He was trying to save someone. That's how they played it off as. But later on, they revealed that no, he is just trying to get out. But again, he's trying to get out for his mom. It's like, there are a lot of good qualities to Teru. All these lists are going to be tough, man. I don't know, maybe at the end, I will re-rank everyone. I'll make a huge tier list with all 48 characters. But yeah, that's it for now. This one looks a lot different than the Danganronpa 1 tier list. Comment down on which placements you agree with, which placements you disagree with, and I'll see you guys next time.